I bet I drill a clean hole in somebody today.
Today we're going to be talking about the most criticized, scrutinized character, I think, in all of Tekken, Asuka Kazama. The way Asuka is viewed by the community versus every other character is so interesting. This character gets a lot of hate because of her story. Meanwhile, you have other characters' story who's just as ridiculous, just as mediocre, but no one says anything about it. I love comparing the Asuka and Lily feud to a Raven and Dragunov feud. Just as redundant, just as ridiculous. The both characters are forever doing nothing and just having random battles each game, but it's viewed totally different. Where Raven and Dragunov fighting each other is viewed as awesome and cool and oh my god, look at that. Lily and Asuka can be fighting each other the same exact way, and everyone is like, this is so pointless. That is just the way that Asuka is viewed in the Tekken scene. And when Tekken 8 was being marketed, let the record show, when Tekken 8 was first being marketed and they announced the character episodes, the what if endings, I was against it from the start. My whole argument is that we do not need non-canonical what if endings. That is a horrible idea. We need development for these characters. We need canonical improvements. And now that the game is out, everyone is seeing it. But it's like, bro, I've been saying that. Non-canonical cutscenes is something we got plenty of times before, and it's the whole reason we're stuck with these mediocre, underdeveloped characters. Whenever the next story update or, the developers is going to add more, I think players should really focus on the we need canon. It could be funny, it could be cool, it could be cute, it could be whatever, but it needs to also be canon. If not, you're going to end up with a topic like we're discussing today. This person shares a clip from the story. It's Asuka and Lily meeting Harada. And it's a quote that says, "Were you like sisters? Jin's sister or something?" Now, this is basically like Harada trying to remember who Asuka is because she's so irrelevant. She is so irrelevant. Even Harada, which is kind of like Jin's best friend, right, doesn't even know her. That's how irrelevant she is. I don't want to go on a tangent before the video even gets started, but it's like she is a Kazama. Everything that Jun Kazama can do, Asuka has the potential and can do as well. But the characters in the story, the game never cares to explore that. Think of how Tekken 8 would have been altered or changed if Asuka had just a slight bit of her powers. If she just knew how to do anything at all, she could have completely transformed the outcome of the story, but they completely misuse the character and don't use her at all. Which is why Izumi says, the writers hate Asuka, oh my god. Now, this tweet popped off because a lot of people feel this way. A lot of people feel like they hate her because you have to wonder why else are they not developing her. Players are pushing for development for all characters, and with what if endings being non-canon, yeah, you laugh, ha ha ha, oh, Steve Fox is so buff, but it does nothing for the character really. And it's like, why? Now, Harada responded to this because he's seen the attention it was getting and he wanted to try and clear the air. In response to Zumio saying that the writers hate Asuka, Harada says, nah. This is one scene where we can appreciate that the writers does not dislike Asuka, but rather fully understands her characterization and brings out her personality well. Now, I will give them some credit. You can tell like they are trying to highlight her character, but my issue is the dialogue is trash, and then two, it's like they are not developing her. That's all Tekken did was like, you know this character Steve Fox? Well, here's Steve Fox being Steve Fox. Here's Asuka being Asuka. Harada being... They try to highlight the characters' personalities and their characterizations, but they don't develop them. That is my issue. He says this is a scene that epitomizes the kanji culture of Japan, a scene in which Asuka demonstrates her ability to interact, a skill that is highly valued in the community of Okusa, where she is born and raised. So basically, I think this is talking about her being like polite, bowing. It is one of the so-called Nori and Tsukiyomi, or Boke, and Tsukiyomi conversations, which are very difficult to translate into English. But it is one of those daring to accept the other person's misunderstanding or mistake, making a comment as expected by the other person's and then trying to deny it. Or accepting the other person's intentionally wrong. It is a communication skill that Kanjin people are good at. For example, okay, see, this is so, oh my God. I appreciate the level of explanation that Harada is giving here, but I think he's kind of missing the point. He here is talking about how like this is so like Japanese culture and it's super deep. Like if you pay attention to what Harang is saying and Asuka is saying, and if you know Japanese, you'll love the conversation. This is my whole reason why I think they should have did a English dub of the whole story, because all of this kind of stuff, it's like above our heads. We don't understand the intricacies of the dialogue that's there because most of us don't speak Japanese. If you do, maybe you love this scene. But for us who don't speak Japanese, it's over our heads. And I feel like this happens so much in Tekken, where the character says something, but the text that we're reading doesn't emphasize that feeling. There's a disconnect there. He says, for example, suppose you go to Okusa, Japan, where I was born. Okay, try handing a banana to an Okusa native and saying, you have a phone call for you. Many Okusa people will say, oh yes, hello, yes, okay, I'll see you later. This is not an exaggeration, but one of the communication skills that Kanjin people, especially those who grew up in Okusa, have acquired from the elementary students. So basically it seems like he's saying that they don't correct you. If you say something wrong or stupid, they're not going to point it out and say, hey, that's dumb, that's stupid. You know, I'm not Jin's sister, I'm the cousin, right? They're going to try and they're just going to let you believe what you believe in a sense. Yeah, I could be getting this all wrong, but I just think his response is kind of missing our point. I'm missing his point and he's missing my point, is how I see it. It's like, I understand the intricacies of like the Japanese culture and how you're trying to express that with Asuka Kazama. But at the same time, we want development. We want these characters to actually do something. The reason that this got over 1,000 likes is because everyone agrees that Asuka is just a laughing stock. They do nothing for this character. When she first was introduced, there was like so much potential there, but now she is just relegated to, you know, being this like whatever she is, like whatever Harada is trying to and I don't want to be rude, but it's true. It's like, bro, we've been waiting like almost a decade and a half for something, and that something never came. And it's just like, I don't know, bro, I don't know. Let's keep reading. The ability to make instantaneous judgments in response to the other person's words, as well as the sense of speed with which one responds, has become an established part of evaluating communication skills in Kanjin region. It is... Wow, I'm done reading this. I am done reading this. Not to be rude, but I don't care about this. I don't know. They don't see it from that perspective. And that's why it's so frustrating, is because they don't see it. We want something out of these characters. Once again, everything that Jun Kazama can do, Asuka can as well. It's just that no one ever teaches her. No one ever shows her. The developers never write a story to where she is explored in that way. And that is the frustration. It's basically like the character is imitating themselves at these points. You don't have a situation unfold where you can see how the character reacts or the character grow. It's just them being themselves. Look at Steve Fox being Steve Fox. He's so cool. But it's never some kind of like interesting story or character arc. And I know when Tekken 8 first came out, I was talking about how Mortal Kombat does better character arcs, and I stand by that. Compare Asuka to Melina or Sindel, and you can see how those characters actually have a personality. You can see them be happy, you can see them be angry, you can see them trying to figure out problems, dealing with problems. We get so many different more versions and elements and perspectives in Mortal Kombat. Their characters is so much more fleshed out. In Tekken, it's just, oh, Asuka is a character. She is Asuka. She's from Osaka, and that's what she does. It's like, it's nothing more than that. What else? What else is Asuka besides just Okusa and this, you know, long thing from Harada? So I don't know. I feel very strongly about this because I called it, bro. Back when we were still playing Tekken 7, I was making all these videos about story and wanted the developers to do something more, and to see it all end the same way basically Tekken 7 did, Tag 2 did, where all of it's not canon, and then even the stuff that is canon is kind of like whatever, right? It's just sad to see. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one, and bye-bye.